Blogging is a lot easier and faster when you use a template. Hi, I'm Joan Stewart, and I've created 17 amazingly simple blog templates for authors, and I want to demonstrate how to use one of them. This is template number 13, in which you write about the top mistakes related to your topic of expertise, and then you explain to readers how to avoid them. This template can be used by authors who write either fiction or nonfiction. Let's say I've written a children's book called Max the Muddy Mutt. It's fiction about a dog that hates taking baths. I could use this template to write a post on the top 5 mistakes to avoid when grooming a dog. Now, if I'm not a dog groomer or a veterinarian, that's okay. I can still write about grooming by simply researching it on the internet. That's what I did before writing this post. It took me about 5 minutes to find the 5 most common mistakes. Here's how this works. Each template is a simple Word document. Now, these are not fill-in-the-blanks templates that are pre-written by me, and where you simply drop in a word here or a phrase there. Rather, it's a set of guidelines I've created that tell you what to write about in the first paragraph, what to write about in the second paragraph, and so on. You write in your own voice or your own writing style using my simple step-by-step tips. So let's get started, and I'll show you what this template looks like from top to bottom. Right at the top of each template, I explain why I love this kind of blog post. And in this case, it promotes your expertise, and these are high-value, share-worthy posts. People love these kinds of tips. Over here, I share why readers love them. Next, I give you an idea for a photo or an image that you can use to accompany your post. Then I show you exactly where to see a sample of what this blog post is supposed to look like when it's done. I give you a link that you can click on right here. This actually happens to be one of my posts over at my blog, but let's say you're using this template and you're not online. You don't have internet access and you want to see what it looks like. We have an entire sample pack that comes with this product that shows you what every one of these blogs is supposed to look like. They're simply screenshots, so you don't have to worry about having internet access. I also give you tips before you write. Let's take a look. Right at the top, for every template, I give you 3 ideas for headlines. So for this particular one, let's choose this top one here. I wanted to say the top 5 dog grooming mistakes and how to fix them. Okay, so I'll take these 2 and I'll delete them, and I will change this to dog grooming mistakes, and I'm done. Okay, now how to write it. Down here I tell you to open with the paragraph that explains what the reader needs to do. Do they need to buy a house, find a job, relieve stress? Now in this case, the reader needs to know how to steer clear of dog grooming mistakes. So I'm just going to highlight this and I'm going to type right over it. Dog owners who ignore important grooming rituals for their dogs could be inviting health problems that are far worse than a scraggly looking dog. Okay, now I'm not going to clean up the typos here. I won't do that until I'm done. This second paragraph says, refer to your article as a X-minute crash course that will help the reader fix or avoid mistakes. And I suggest in red type here, these are the instructions. It says after you're done writing the article, read it while timing yourself. Go back and fill in the number of minutes right up here. See the sample that accompanies this template. Okay, so I'm going to take the red instructions and I'm going to get rid of them. And I'm going to type right over this. And I'm going to say, This is a, let's just say, 5-minute crash course that will remind you that dog grooming doesn't take as much time as you might think. And it doesn't have to break the budget. Okay, next it says, what makes you the expert to give this advice? If the reader heeds your advice, how long will it take to understand how to fix or avoid the mistake? So I'm not a dog groomer, I'm not a veterinarian, I'm just an author that has dogs that I've been grooming for more than 15 years. So I'm going to say I'm a dog lover. And I've been grooming my dogs for more than 15 years. Thanks to a few lessons and some guidance from my vet. It takes new pet owners about 2 weeks to make dog grooming part of their own daily routine. This next paragraph says, say you're going to review the most common mistakes. Now, in this case, I'm only writing about 5 mistakes. This template lets you write 9 of them. So I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to say, here are the 5 most common dog grooming mistakes to avoid. This says first mistake in bold type with a larger font. So I'm going to go like this, highlight it, and the first mistake is going to be not brushing the dog's teeth, and that's in bold. Next, you're going to explain when does it happen and how does it happen. So I'm going to write, dogs, like humans, need daily tooth brushing to avoid the buildup of plaque and other harmful bacteria. Okay, now this says, what does the reader do to fix or avoid it? And I'm going to say, if you can't brush your dog's teeth daily, a good brushing a few times a week is far better than no brushing at all. Start when the dog is young so it gets used to having your hands in its mouth. Then in the next paragraph, I'm going to talk about the type of a toothbrush to use. Use a dog toothbrush that's specially angled for a dog's teeth. And then if I want to, I can write more. Now it says here, in any of the items on this list, consider using 2 columns, and I show you a sample telling readers to change the mistake to whatever the solution is, or to tell the readers don't do this and do this instead. That's not what I'm going to do here. Okay, I'm just simply going to write in the narrative how to do what it is that I'm explaining. So that's how you do it. Now the second mistake, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to write right over it. And the second mistake is not clipping its nails regularly. And then I'm going to say over here, when does it happen and how does it happen? Nails should be trimmed at least every 4 or 5 weeks. And then you continue writing in this paragraph, and you can write as much as you want. Now, this template gives you a section for the 3rd mistake and for the 4th mistake, and then you come down here, and I'm only going to do 5 mistakes, so I'm going to take all of these and just get rid of them until I come down to the very end, And I tell you to use a call to action that invites the reader to add to your list of mistakes that you've just written, or to declare their intention to fix or avoid the mistakes you've listed. This is called the call to action. So down here, I'm going to say, what have I missed? What grooming mistakes do you see dog owners making? Do you have a grooming ritual for your dog that might help other dog owners? Now remember, you're not the only expert here. You want to encourage people to comment on this post. So you're going to say share in the comments section. Now I'm going to put a second call to action underneath this because I want to tell them about my book. My book, Max the Muddy Mutt, and I'm just making this up. I don't really have a book that I've written about Max. Gives more tips on how to help dogs enjoy bath time. And then I'm going to link to it right here. And the book is on, let's say the book's on Amazon. I'll put a link right there. Okay, now it says when you're finished writing the post, don't forget to time yourself while you're reading it. Make a note of how long it takes you to read it and insert the number of minutes in the second paragraph where it says spend X minutes on this crash course. So I'm going to come up here and let's just pretend that I've written it and it's a 4-minute crash course. Okay, let's say this is a 4-minute crash course. Now you're going to come back here and obviously clean up the typos. Now, when you're done, this is a key point that you don't want to forget. You want to come up here and you want to save it to a folder on your hard drive so that you still have the original template intact, ready to use for another topic. And that's how to use my template.